Hello, and welcome to Mind Body Strength Online Fitness. It's Jo, and I'm back with another yoga session. And today we're going to be focusing on yoga poses that will help to strengthen the, the abdominal area, open the hips, and help the lower back. As we begin to grow older, we get into midlife and later, sometimes we develop some problems in our low back. And there are a number of reasons for that. The first one probably has to do with our posture. Um, Basically, the way you sit, stand, walk, lean over to pick up and carry things, all of those things can either help or harm your back. So, other things that can cause problems are, for example, your job. If you do a lot of desk work where you're kind of rounding over and maybe writing things down or working on a computer, or if you spend a lot of time with a smartphone texting, you're leaning over to do that, over time those can develop some postural problems. Um, Another thing that might contribute to posture problems is maybe a child, when they're young, has an adult that they really admire a great deal. And what happens is they imitate the way that person walks. And perhaps they have a grandmother who walks with a stoop posture like this. And the child begins to imitate that posture without really realizing that that is due to osteoporosis. So before we get on with our yoga postures, let me talk a moment about some of the props that would be helpful for you. Um, First of all, a block. You'll need a block for one of the poses near the end of the class. And a strap might also come in handy. And then possibly you might like an iPad. Start my timer here so I don't run over. An iPad or a nice washcloth over your eyes is very nice for Shavasana relaxation pose. So back to the back, and another thing that can affect your posture and therefore your back is your mood. So if you're feeling unhappy, you're feeling sad, depressed, what do you look like? What's your body language? Well, probably you're slumped over, maybe leaning on one foot, looking down, just really feeling sad. And that can affect your posture. On the other hand, if you've got something to be excited or happy about, maybe you're finally getting to go on vacation after months of sheltering at home because of COVID, or you found out you're going to have a new grandchild, or you win the lottery, whatever, then your posture is going to reflect your mood again. So now you're going to be standing up, maybe a big smile on your face, and just really feeling great. So as your mood can affect your posture, the opposite is true. Your posture can affect your mood. So if you're walking around, let's try it. Just give it a try. Just go ahead and just slump over, let your head drop, shoulders droop, and just stand there for a few breaths. And just notice how you're feeling. And just open your eyes, lift your head, and come up. And just take notice of how you feel right now. And now just imagine a situation that you're really looking forward to, or think about something that happened in the past that really made you happy. And then notice your posture. Chances are now you're standing up straight and tall, maybe a big smile on your face, even a laugh. So posture is important, and so are your moods. So hopefully yoga can work a little bit on both. Probably the other thing that can cause problems with the lower back is that over time we develop muscular strengths and weaknesses that aren't in balance. For example, maybe you carry a handbag always over your right shoulder, and that kind of gets things out of whack. So, yoga stretches and strengthening poses over time can help reverse some of those problems and issues. So, let's stand in mountain pose and make sure that you're maintaining the natural curves of your spine. Now, we talk a lot in yoga about those natural curves. So, what are we talking about? Let's take a look. Now, you'll excuse my art abilities, which are not great, but just imagine this is a picture of someone standing, and they're standing on a side view, and you can see the curves. So, for example, here behind the neck, that is the cervical curve, and your neck is part of your spine. It starts at that medulla oblongata, that hollow space in the back of the neck, and then if you run your finger down your neck, you'll find a little bump there, right in the middle of your lower neck and shoulders. So that's the cervical spine and the cervical curve, which is concave. It goes inward. And then the next part of the spine is the thoracic spine. And that's the part that covers your rib cage, and it basically supports the upper part of the body. It supports all the way up from the breastbone here up, and also supports the head. And then you'll see the curve in the thoracic spine curves out. It's convex. And then we move down to the lumbar spine, and that's the one here right at your waistline. And again, you'll see that that's concave. It goes in. And then finally, at the very end, we have the sacrum down here at the small of the back. And the sacrum is actually several bones that are fused together. And another interesting thing about all of these parts of the body is their effect on your mobility and your stability. So, for example, put this down for a moment. If we're looking at the cervical spine, the neck area, lots of mobility in that area. We can bend the neck, we can stretch it back, we can bend to the side, we can turn, twisting the neck. So lots of movement available in the neck, but not quite so much stability. So that's one reason we sometimes have neck problems. And then as you continue to move down the spine into the thoracic spine, and then the lumbar spine, and finally into the sacrum, there becomes less mobility and more stability. So the purpose of the sacrum primarily is to keep you stable. So there's not much room to move. So you can move your thoracic spine a bit. You can twist it. It doesn't bend. You can bend a bit at the lumbar spine, but if you hold everything else still, not much twisting there. And the same for the pelvis. So, I can move my pelvis very well if I'm moving other parts of the body with it. But if I hold the top of my body still and my legs still, very little movement in that area at all. And so we have to be very careful when we're doing yoga poses, especially twists, that we don't try to move the pelvis by itself, because that could injure the sacroiliac joint and cause lots and lots of lower back problems and other issues as well. Okay, so let's come down on the floor now, and we'll start our yoga practice. To move the block and the strap out of the way, and let's put them down slowly, and we'll do some leg stretches to start. So just go ahead, if you like, you can Rest your head on a folded blanket if that's comfortable. And now place one hand on your stomach and slide the other hand under the small of the back, under that lumbar curve. And take a deep breath and feel the stomach, the ribs expand, and then on the exhalation, feel your lower back pressing into your hand. And then again, inhaling, chest expanding, and exhaling, contracting. And again, feel the lower back press into that curve. Now take your left knee and wrap your hands around it and just squeeze it into the chest. Just hold there. And now then straighten the other leg along the ground. And take your right hand and pull that left leg across your body to the left, stretching the hip. Remember, we're trying to open hips too, as well as working on back and abs. And then bring the knee back to center and let it roll out now to the right, getting a little stretch in the groin area. And then bring the knee back to center. I'm going to grab my strap and wrap it around my foot. And then extend that leg up to the ceiling and gently pull the leg toward me. Now, if you don't have a strap, you can always use a necktie or a belt. You don't need a yoga strap. But you can just hold on to the calf or the thigh and pull your leg that way. So don't overstretch. Just gently pull it towards you. Hold for a breath or two. And now inhale, exhale, bend the knee, take the strap away, and put the left foot back on the floor, and bend the right leg, and hug the right knee into the chest. Really squeeze it in. And now straighten the left leg, and pull the right knee across the body to the left, and feel that stretch in the right hip. And now inhale back to center. Hold on to the knee with the right hand and slowly drop it out to the right. And then bring it back to center and take the strap, place it around the foot and go ahead, straighten that leg up to the ceiling and flex the other foot, the left foot, and press it away from you as you're gently pulling the right leg towards you. And just hold it here for a couple of breaths. And now go ahead, bend the knee and slowly release the strap. And I'm going to put the strap over here. And now bend both knees. Keep your feet on the floor and your knees together. And your hands can be by your side for this one. And we're just going to gently rock back and forth, doing a few sacral rocks. So we'll begin and rock to the left, keeping your feet on the floor, maybe 6 to 8 inches. Nice, easy rocks. And then back to center. And now to the right. And center. And just go back and forth a few more times, just gently warming up the muscles of the lower body, hips, abdominal muscles. And now come back to center and place the left leg over the right, and we'll do some more of those rocks. So just gently to the left, back to center, and to the right. And back to center, and just a few more times. And go ahead and bring your left foot back to the floor, and keep your knees bent, because now we're going to do something called the pelvic clock. So just imagine your sacrum That's that lowest part of your back, and it's kind of rounded. So just picture that as a traditional clock with hands and a face. And 12 o'clock will be at the base of your lumbar spine or just behind your navel. And then 6 o'clock is at your tailbone. So we're going to begin by taking a breath. And then exhale and bring 12 o'clock down into the floor, pressing that spine into the floor. And then lower your hips and press sitting bones down, coming into 6 o'clock. And then back to 12 o'clock. And inhale to 6 o'clock. Exhale to 12 o'clock. And just go back a couple more times until this move feels nice and easy. And now we're going to add some of the other numbers of the clock. So the next time you get to 6 o'clock, you're going to then go around to 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and all the way back to 6, and then we'll reverse. So inhale to 6 o'clock, and then slowly roll around the edges of the clock, coming into 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10, 11, back to 12, and then roll the other way all the way down to 6 o'clock again, and then reverse and go in the opposite direction, rolling all around the clock. And if you were as old as I am, you would remember a song called Rock Around the Clock. Maybe we could do this to that song if we could find it. Okay, so let's roll over and come up onto our hands and knees into table pose, and we'll do a few cat stretches to continue to warm up the spine. So your hands are under your shoulders, fingers pointing forward, and make sure that you're pressing firmly into the base of the thumb and the forefinger. And just take an inhalation, exhale and drop your head. Inhale again. Exhale, pull the belly up toward the back, tuck your tailbone under, let your upper back rise like an angry cat. And then inhale, drop the belly, sitting bones lift up, coming into an arch or into extension. And then go ahead, round again, pull in the belly, tuck the tail, press down on hands, upper back rounds, and then inhale again, relaxing the belly down, letting the sit bones lift. And now come back to a neutral position. And we'll do an abdominal strengthening pose, which is sunbird. So again, you want your arms directly under your shoulders, and take a breath first, and then exhale, extend your left leg back, and then your right arm forward, hold for a few breaths, and then lower the arm and bring the leg back to starting position. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So fingers pointing forward on the right hand and thumb and forefinger base pressing into the floor. So inhale and extend the right leg back and bring the left arm up. You can keep looking at the floor. You don't have to look up. And a few breaths. And then inhale and exhale, lower your arm and your foot back to the floor, bring your knees back to starting position. And sit back and pause for a minute. Massage my wrists a little bit here. Okay, so we're going to go back now and do an ab strengthener, which basically is the same pose without using the legs. So you just need to move your arms for this one. Sounds easy? Well, we'll see. So, hands under the shoulders. Again, fingers spread. You might want to separate your knees just a bit. And then inhale and go ahead, raise the right arm up and bring it up so it's above the shoulder, and then bring your body forward. And you should feel your abdominal muscles kicking in. So if you can, hold a few more breaths. And then exhale and release. Bring the right hand back to the floor. We'll do the same thing now on the other side. So raise the left arm up. Lift it higher than your shoulder. Bring your body forward. And again, feel those abdominal muscles really kicking in, really working. Couple more breaths if you can. And then inhale and exhale. Bring your hand back to the floor. And for a moment, just sit back and relax for a moment in firm pose. And now come back into table. We're going into down dog. So inhale. Exhale, turn the toes under, pull your belly in, and lift your back, and then your knees come up off the floor. So try to keep the natural curves of the spine so you're neither rounded nor arched. Stay here breathing. And affirm calmness radiates through every fiber of my being. Calmness radiates through every fiber of my being. And then to come out, look forward and begin to walk forward between your hands so you're in a forward bend. And then slowly draw your hands up your shins. Place them on your thighs above your knees. Press into the thighs. And slowly come back up and come to mountain pose. So now we're going to do a leg strengthener because, of course, you've got your spine holding up all the parts above it, and your legs have to hold up your spine. So come on into mountain pose. And just make sure your chin is level, your spine is long, tail not tucked. So pull your thighs back just a little. Stand here for a few breaths in mountain pose. And then we'll do a leg activator, activating the muscles of the legs surrounding the knees, the muscles of the calf and the thighs. So we're going to bend our knees forward over our feet. Make sure your feet are parallel. But we're going to keep our body completely erect. So we're going to do this slowly, and we'll do it maybe 3 times. So take a breath and exhale. Just bring your knees forward over the center of your feet. You ought to feel the muscles of your legs activating. Inhale here. Exhale and slowly come back up. Stay here and keep that activation in the legs. Take 3 breaths. And now you can relax your legs, and we'll do that again. So take an inhalation. Exhale, bend the knees straight forward. Don't let them roll in or out, and keep your spine vertical, completely vertical. Don't let the tailbone come up. Feel those muscles working. And then inhale and exhale slowly. Stand up. And again, maintain the activation of those legs and take 3 breaths. And now relax your legs, and we'll do that one last time. So inhale, exhale, bend the knees straight forward, come down as far as comfortable for you. Don't strain your knees. Feel those muscles working. Muscles of the calves, the thighs. Now inhale and slowly straighten. Hold on to the stretch or the muscles in the legs activated. And then go ahead and relax. Okay, so let's go ahead now and do a forward bend. And let's use a block for this one. Another important way to protect your lower back is to make sure that you're not overstretching, overextending it. So when we do a forward bend, we want to bring the pelvis down over the legs. Excuse me, I had a visitor that wanted to join us, Sylvie, our cat. So we're going to ask Sylvie to skip this session. Okay, so when we do a forward bend, we're bringing our pelvis down over our legs, and our sitting bones are lifted. And you're in a safe forward bend position as long as you don't feel strain in your low back and your sitting bones are still moving up. So let's keep that in mind. Press your thighs back a little. You might want to turn your toes in a little to line up the hips and the thighs. And then inhale the breath and exhale, begin to come forward over the legs, bringing your belly down over the legs. Feel your sitting bones rising. You can place your hand on the block and stay here and breathe. And just be aware of what you're feeling, especially in your back. And then if everything feels right, you can try going a little further. You can perhaps put the block on a lower level. And then inhale, lengthen, and exhale. Continue coming down as long as you can feel your sitting bones moving up and there's no discomfort in the low back. So stay here, breathe. And then again, listening to your body. If your back feels fine, your sitting bones are still able to move up, then go ahead and relax. So deep breath in and exhale, letting everything go, if that's right for you. So you can just kind of hang down into the pose. And the affirmation is, nothing on earth can hold me. Nothing on earth can hold me. So to come up, bring your hands up again, place them on your thighs above the knees, press the hands into the thighs, and slowly come back up to mountain pose. And breathe. And now let's do a gentle back bending pose, warrior one. So let's shift the weight to the right foot. Step the left foot back a fair distance. You want to have it back far enough so that when you bend your knee, you're going to feel a stretch in the calf. So this back foot is turned out a little, and the feet are separated. They're not precisely lined up in a straight line. That would make it harder to balance. So you want to bring your hips around so they face forward over your foot, and then bend the front knee. So the shin bone is vertical, and then take your arms, bring them forward and then up, reaching overhead and coming into a very slight backbone. And since this is a back bending pose, you can let your tailbone lift up a little if it feels right. Head can come back again. And breathe, and the affirmation is, I am free, I am free, I am free, I am free. And then inhale, stretch, exhale, lower your arms, and step back into mountain pose. Pause here for a moment and notice how you're feeling. And now we do the same thing with the right foot. So step the right foot back. Square up the hips. Bend the front knee. Feel the stretch in the back calf. And again, inhale, reach. Lifting, stretching. Keep that stretch. And allow the tailbone to lift a little if it wants. You can bring your head back if it's comfortable for your neck. Breathing, and again, affirm, I am free, I am free. I am free, I am free. And then inhale, stretch up. Exhale, slowly circle your arms back. And step back into mountain pose. And pause in mountain pose. And focus on your breath and how you're feeling. All right, so now we're going to do a few mini sun salutes. We'll do 3 minis, and then we're going to add a lunge, and a lunge with a twist. So remember, when we add that lunge and the twist, that we want to twist the belly with the rib cage above it, so we don't injure ourselves. Okay. So let's stand in mountain pose again. Maybe turn your feet in just a little, since you're going to do a forward bend in connection with your sun salutation. So let's start with our hands at the heart center. And inhale, circle up, reach and stretch. Exhale, arms out to the side. Swan dive into the forward bend. That belly's going over the legs. And then come only as far as comfortable. And when you're there, inhale, draw your hands up your shins halfway to a flat back. And then exhale and fold back down. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side. Fingers spread, taking up lots of space. And exhale. Bring your hands to the heart. And again, inhale. Exhale, folding. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, relax. Inhale, arms reach, stretch, slight back bend. And exhale, hands at the heart. And this will be the last mini. Inhale, exhale, inhale halfway up, exhale and fold, inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, reaching, stretching, back bending a bit, and exhale, hands at the heart. And this time we'll add a lunge. So inhale, exhale, inhale halfway up, fingertips to the mat, left leg steps way back into a lunge. We'll stay here briefly, let the calf stretch out, and then slowly lower the knee to the floor, and straighten up, and rest both hands on your right thigh for a moment. And then inhale and reach up. Exhale. And if you have your block handy, bring it over beside your right foot, little space there. Place your fingers on the block. We're going to do a twist now. So bring your right hand down by your side and then inhale. And begin to sweep that arm up as you turn your belly and your chest toward the right, coming into a gentle twist. And you can look up if it's comfortable or just look straight ahead. Hold for a breath or two. And then inhale and exhale. Lower your arm. Put the block on the other side. Fingertips on the floor. back toes under, and step forward, back into the forward bend, and inhale halfway, exhale and fold, inhale, arms reach, stretch, little back bend, and exhale, back to namaste. And now we're going to do the lunge on the left, on the right. So in left, inhale and reach, exhale, fold, inhale, halfway up, exhale, right leg steps, hold for a moment, letting the calf stretch, and then slowly lower the knee to the mat. Come up, resting your hand on your thigh. And then inhale, bring the arms up, coming up into Dhanurasana, the monkey pose. And then circle your arms back down and bring your block over now next to the left foot. Fingertips on the block as we get ready to twist. So hand down by the side of the leg. And then inhale, slowly begin to reach that arm up and allow your belly and your stomach area to twist together so there's no pain in the low back. And then inhale, slowly bring the arm down. Take the block away. Step the back toes under. And then step the front foot back. You're in down dog. And then slowly lower your knees to the mat. And sit for a moment in firm pose, breathing. You can bring your hands into Jnana Mudra if you like, thumb and forefinger touching. Just take a little rest here and affirm in stillness, I touch my inner strength. In stillness, I touch my inner strength. And now let's come down, lying on our side. We're going to do half bow pose now. So go ahead and rest your head on your forearm. Your knees are bent. Your other hand is in front for support. And now take your top knee and squeeze it into the chest. And then straighten the leg, flex the foot, lift the leg, and turn the toe down a little so you're internally rotating the thigh. And bring the leg back behind you as far as comfortable. And then bend the knee, reach around, hold on to the ankle with your hand, and then gently pull your feet and hand away from your body, giving yourself a nice stretch. The shoulders, stretching the front of the thigh. Hold for a couple breaths. And then release the hand. Foot goes back up. Flex the foot. And slowly bring it back to the floor. And then bend the knee. And squeeze it into the chest. And then let it rest again on the other knee. Take your top hand, press it into the floor as you turn your navel toward the floor, so that when you use both hands to lift up, the back of your body is really facing the wall by your feet. And then we'll go ahead, turn over, and do the same pose on the other side. So, lying on the back. Knees are bent. Roll over onto the second side. Again, rest your head on your folded arm, your elbow, other hand is in front. And now take your hand, hold on to the top knee, and squeeze it into the chest. And then stretch it straight along the ground. Lower leg stays bent. Lift the leg and turn it so the toe points down a little bit And then bring it back behind you. And then bend the knee and grab the ankle with your left hand, your top hand, and gently pull away from your body. And you may feel a stretch in the shoulder as well as the front of the thigh. And then take a breath. Exhale, release the leg. And slowly bring it back to the floor. And then bend the knee again. Press your top hand into the floor, turning your navel toward the floor. Use the other hand to bring yourself up. And now we're going to do a twist pose. And we're going to be very careful how we do it so we don't injure any parts of the body. So I'm going to sit on the edge of a folded blanket. And we start in staff pose. And then we're going to slide or bend the left knee and bring the left knee fairly close to the buttocks, maybe, I don't know, a few inches between there. And then wrap the right arm around the left knee, put your left hand behind you, and then slide the right leg in front of you. So it's already giving you a bit of a twist. Go ahead and let that foot bend down a little bit so that the big toe side of the foot is closer to the floor than the little toe side. And then have most of your weight on the left buttock and left leg. So we're going to inhale the breath, exhale all the air out, pull in the belly, and begin the twist. Listen to your body. Only go as far as right for you. And again, inhale, lengthen, keep that left foot pressing. Exhale all the air out and twist. This time move your back hand back a little further so you're leaning back on it. Keep that front leg stretching away from you. And inhale, lengthen. Exhale all the air out, pull in the belly and twist. And now if it feels all right for your neck, take another breath. Exhale, gently turn your head to gaze towards your left shoulder. Keep the breath smooth and even. And affirm, I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. And now inhale and exhale and slowly release the pose. And come back and sit in staff pose. And notice how you're feeling. And now we're going to bend the right knee so we can do the twist on the other side. And again, the other leg, we're going to extend it out away from us. So we're already getting a head start on the twist. But that's all right. It's not cheating. It's just protecting your back. So wrap your left elbow around the right knee and keep the weight on this right foot. Bring the right hand around behind you, pressing fingers into the floor. And then inhale, lengthen. Exhale all the breath out, pull in the belly, and start the twist. And again. Inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale, blow all the air out, pull in the belly, and then twist some more. And finally, I'm going to move my hand back a little more, so I'm leaning back. And inhale, lengthen. Exhale, all the air out, and twist a little more. And now, only if it doesn't bother your neck, turn your head, gaze towards your right shoulder, stay here breathing, and affirm, I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. And then inhale, lengthen, and exhale, slowly release the pose. And come back into staff pose and take a few breaths. All right, so the next pose we're going to do is bridge pose, and I'm not going to sit on my blanket for this one, but it might feel more comfortable if you lie on the blanket, resting your shoulders there. So if you'd like, try lying on the blanket. I have my shoulders on the blanket and the head resting off the blanket. If that's not comfortable, sometimes a rolled towel under your neck helps make things more comfortable. So have your block handy, have it by your side, and we're going to begin with a couple pelvic tilts. So basically going into 6 o'clock again, like we did in the pelvic clock. So inhale the breath, exhale, and begin to tilt the tailbone up, and then let it relax. And then again, curl the tailbone up and slowly let it relax. And one more pelvic tilt, inhaling, curling on the exhalation, and then slowly coming back down. Now, we're going to go all the way up now into the bridge pose. And as we do that, we're going to keep our arms and shoulders pressed into the floor. So inhale, exhale, feet, arms, shoulders pressing into the floor as you slowly begin to lift your hips and then your lower back, your thoracic spine, all the way up to the shoulders. Keep the arms pressing firmly. Hold and breathe. And one more breath. And then exhale, slowly roll down, beginning with the top of the spine, rolling down through the thoracic, into the lumbar, and finally the sacrum meets the floor. And pause for a breath. And now we're going to take the block and we're going to do bridge pose again, holding the block between our knees. So again, have your hands by your side, feet fairly close to the buttocks, and take a breath. And then on the exhalation, pushing your feet and your arms, shoulders into the floor, begin to lift the hips up, keeping the knees pressed firmly against the block, activating leg muscles, buttock muscles. And then if you'd like, you can tuck your shoulder blades under, clasp your hands beneath you, press them into the floor. Keep those legs pressing on the block, activating those muscles, and affirm. I offer every thought as a bridge to world peace. I offer every thought as a bridge to world peace. And one more breath. And then slowly separate your hands and begin to roll down. Take the block away. Place it by your side and then squeeze your knees into your chest and just roll around a little bit, massaging the back. And bring your feet to the floor. Roll to your side and you can fold your blanket back up. Place it at the top of the mat. And now we're going to do thread the needle, which is a hip opening pose. So slowly lie down onto the back. You can rest your head on the blanket if you like. And then go ahead, lift the left leg and place the left ankle on the right thigh. And then gently take your hand and press that leg away from you a few times, just kind of warming up the hip joint a little more because we're going to be giving it a pretty good stretch here. Now, if you're feeling plenty of stretch in the hip and you want to continue doing this kind of pressure, that's fine. But if you'd like a little more challenge, then go ahead, lift the right foot off the floor, bring that leg toward you, and wrap your arms around the right thigh, and your elbow can rest against the left thigh as you're gently pulling it toward you. And flex the left foot, helps to protect the knee, and then just breathe into that stretch. It'll be a pretty intense stretch. You need to hold it a few times to allow the hips to open. And take one more breath, and then release your hands and slowly bring your foot to the floor. And take the left leg, bring it back so it's near the right. Just let your hands rest on your belly for a moment and breathe. And now bring the right knee to the chest. And let's go ahead and place the right ankle on the left thigh, and then gently press. And then, if it's right for you, go ahead and lift the left leg, bring it towards you, right arm between the legs, and pull that left thigh towards you, and your right elbow can gently press against the knee. Foot is flexed to protect the knee. Hold and breathe. And now inhale and exhale. Take your hands away from behind the thigh. Bring your left foot to the floor, and then the right foot to the floor. And we're going to get ready now for final relaxation, Shavasana. So if you're happy here, you can just stretch your legs out. But if you'd like to do a little preparation, roll over onto your side, press your hand into the floor, and come up and take a moment to arrange any props you'd like to use for relaxation. You need to cover yourself with a blanket, a pillow under your head, another blanket over you, or a jacket or sweater. You need to stay warm as you're doing Shavasana. Maybe got that folded washcloth or an eye pillow to work with. So go ahead and get those if you need them. And then as you're ready, come lying on your back. Check the alignment of your body to make sure the right and left sides are equal in weight. And then take a moment to press both feet away from you, flexing the feet, and then relax your feet and legs and let them roll out to the sides. Tuck your shoulder blades under a bit to support your back, and allow your arms to extend out to the side, palms facing up. You want space in your armpits between your chest and arms to make room for the lungs that are under those ribs to breathe. And now take a deep breath in and sigh it out. And another deep breath in and let it go. And now bring your awareness to your right leg and begin to tighten the muscles of the foot, the ankle, Muscles around the knee, the thighs, all the way up to the hips. Squeeze and hold that tension, and then exhale and let it go. And now the right arm, begin tightening the wrist, the forearm, the elbow, the upper arm, all the way up to the shoulder, and then exhale and let it go. And now the left leg, begin tightening ankle, calf, shin, muscles around the knee, the upper calf, the upper thigh, all the way up to the hip. Hold it, and then let it go. And now the left arm, the wrist, forearm, muscles around the elbow, the upper arm, the shoulder, everything tight and tense, and then exhale and relax. And now tighten the muscles of your buttocks and hips, squeeze, hold, and then exhale and let go. Pull in the abdomen, in the pelvic region below the navel, hold it in tight, squeeze, and now let it relax. Tighten the muscles in your upper back, your chest, hold, and then let them relax. And now tighten your shoulder muscles, squeezing them together, hold, and then let them relax. And now relax the back of your neck. Feel the back of your head resting on your surface, top of your head. Relax your forehead. Lift your eyebrows slightly, and then release them. Relax your cheeks, your nose, your ears. Relax your lips and the inside of your mouth. Relax your tongue. And now open and close your jaw a few times to relax the strong jaw muscle. And now take a moment to scan your body for any areas of remaining tension. If you find any, just breathe into them and exhale, let them go. And I'll repeat the affirmation. Bones, muscles, movement, I surrender now. Anxiety, elation, depression, churning thoughts, all these I give into the hands of peace and rest. Relax, peaceful, for another moment or two. And now begin to bring your awareness back to your body and its sensations. Become aware of your surroundings. And very gently begin to move your hands, feet, your fingers and toes. And now inhale the breath. Exhale and press your lower back into the floor. Turn your legs so that your knees directly face the ceiling. And then slide one foot towards you. Slide the other foot towards you. And then as you're ready, slowly roll to the side of choice, resting there for a few breaths. And now place your top hand into the floor and begin to press yourself up, using the other hand to help. And bring yourself back into a comfortable seated posture. Close your eyes and take 3 slow, deep breaths. Let's bring our hands to the heart center. Namaste. Thank you.